Ryan stood at the edge of the landing platform, his eyes scanning the endless green horizon. The planet, called Virelia by the galactic cartographers, was unlike anything he had ever seen. Towering trees with leaves that glowed faintly in shades, of blue and gold stretched across vast plains. Strange vines hung from the branches like living ropes, and the air hummed with the quiet energy of life. He adjusted his suit and checked the instruments one more time. The energy field that surrounded the planet was strong, but his ship's shields could hold against it for a short while. He took a deep breath and stepped off the landing platform. Each footstep pressed into soft, springy moss that seemed almost alive. Ryan had explored many planets before, but Virelia felt different. It was alive in a way that was more than just plants and animals. The entire planet seemed aware of him, watching silently from the shadows. He pulled out his scanner, hoping to detect any signs of intelligent life. The scanner beeped softly. Nothing in the immediate area. Yet in the distance, he saw a strange shimmer above the trees. It looked like light reflecting on water, but there was no water in sight. Curious, Ryan began walking toward it, careful to avoid the large roots that twisted across the forest floor. As he moved deeper into the jungle, he noticed the sounds of the planet. Birds or something like birds called to one another, but their voices were higher and sharper than anything on Earth. Small creatures with smooth metallic skin darted between the branches, leaving trails of sparkling dust behind them. Ryan watched silently, fascinated. He had never seen such creatures, and he knew they must have evolved in a way that was completely different from anything humans had encountered. Hours passed, or maybe only minutes. It was hard to tell. Time felt different here. The further he went, the more the jungle seemed to change. The trees grew taller and closer together, forming natural corridors. Strange flowers with translucent petals opened and closed as if breathing. The shimmer he had seen earlier grew brighter. Finally, he reached a clearing, and what he saw made him stop in his tracks. Rising from the center of the clearing was a structure unlike anything Ryan had ever imagined. It was tall, elegant, and alive. The walls seemed to be made of smooth, translucent material that pulsed softly with light. Vines wrapped around the structure, but they were not wild or messy. They moved as if they were part of the building, almost like they were tending to it. Ryan's heart raced. This was not just a building. It was art. It was alive. He stepped closer, noticing that the energy field around it was weak here, almost inviting him. He raised his hand to touch the wall, and the surface rippled under his fingers, warm and soft like silk. A small voice echoed in his mind. He was not sure if it was real or if the planet itself was speaking to him. "Welcome," the voice said. Ryan jumped back. His suit alarms flashed, warning him of an unknown energy signal. Looked around but saw no one. "Who's there?" he asked aloud, his voice steady despite the excitement and fear building inside him. "You are not afraid," the voice said again, softer this time. "You are brave, human." Ryan frowned. The voice was melodic, almost musical, but he could feel its strength. Whoever or whatever it was powerful. "I'm Ryan," he said. "I come in peace. I mean no harm." The shimmer above the structure grew stronger. Then, slowly, a figure appeared. She was tall, taller than any human, with skin that reflected the light of the forest, like liquid silver. Her eyes were bright, deep, and intelligent. She moved with grace, her presence filling the clearing. Ryan felt a strange calm wash over him, even as his mind raced with questions. "I am Zora," the figure said. Her voice was the same as the one in his mind. "I am the queen of this place." "You are brave to come here alone." Ryan nodded, trying to hide his awe. I study planets, he explained. I explore, learn about life, and understand cultures. I did not know anyone lived here. Zora tilted her head. Few do, she said. Most who come see only the surface. You see deeper. That is why I call you pet. Rian blinked, caught off guard by the word. Pet. It sounded strange and almost insulting, yet the way Zora said it, it felt different. Curious, he smiled. Then I am your pet, he replied calmly, if you wish me to be. For the first time, Zora's expression changed. Her glowing cheeks tinged slightly with pink, almost as if she were surprised by his answer. Ryan felt a small thrill. He realized that the first encounter had already set a bond between them, one based on curiosity and courage rather than fear or control. Zora stepped closer, and Ryan could feel the energy around her. It was not hostile. It was observing, learning, and testing him. Few humans speak without fear here, she said. Most flee. You do not. That is why you are interesting. Ryan laughed softly, trying to ease the tension. I like to learn, he said. I like to understand things that seem impossible. And I am not afraid of beauty. Zora's eyes widened slightly at his words. Beauty? The word seemed foreign to her. She had rules, traditions, and expectations, but she had never considered that someone would see her planet and her people as beautiful, rather than strange or dangerous. You may stay, she said finally, but you will follow my rules. This world is alive and protective. If you harm it, it will respond. I understand, Ryan said, nodding. I only wish to learn and explore. I mean no harm to anyone. Zora studied him for a long moment. Then slowly she nodded. Then you may walk with me. I will show you part of our world. But do not forget, pet, this is not Earth. The rules are different here. Ryan felt a surge of excitement. He had faced danger, unknown creatures, and strange worlds before. But nothing compared to the feeling of walking beside Zora, learning the secrets of a planet alive with intelligence and mystery. As they moved together, Ryan realized that he was not just exploring a new world. He was stepping into a story bigger than himself, a story of courage, curiosity, and the first steps toward a connection between species. His heart raced not with fear but with wonder. He looked at Zora, who floated gracefully beside him, her eyes filled with curiosity and a hint of something he could not yet understand. The adventure had just begun, and Ryan knew that nothing would ever be the same again. Ryan followed Zora through the glowing forest, feeling both nervous and excited. Every step he took was met with soft moss that seemed to guide him forward. Strange plants turned their flowers toward him as if acknowledging his presence. Light shimmered through the thick canopy above, creating patterns on the forest floor that moved like waves. Zora floated effortlessly ahead, her silver skin reflecting the colors around them. Ryan could see faint marks along her arms that glowed softly. He wondered if they were markings of her rank or part of the planet's energy. Her eyes, deep and intelligent, seemed to observe everything with curiosity. You are brave, Zora said, her voice musical yet firm. Few humans have the courage to walk here alone, Ryan smiled. I have explored many worlds. I am curious. I want to understand, not to fight. Zora nodded. Curiosity is rare. Most who come seek only resources or power. You seek knowledge. That is why I call you pet. Ryan tilted his head, thinking about her words. Pet, he repeated quietly. It sounds strange, but I understand what you mean. I will be your pet if that is what you wish. I will learn from you. For a moment, Zora's eyes widened slightly. She had not expected a human to accept the title so easily. The faint blush that spread across her cheeks surprised her. She looked away, clearing her throat softly. They reached a small clearing where a stream of liquid light ran through the plants. The water sparkled in colors Ryan had never seen. Tiny creatures that looked like glowing fish swam through the stream, leaving trails of light in their wake. "This water is alive," Zora explained. "It senses emotions and responds. It will react to anger or fear. Do you understand?" Ryan knelt by the stream and touched the surface. The water rippled gently, almost as if it recognized him. He smiled, feeling a strange warmth spreading through him. "It is beautiful. I have never felt anything like this before." Zora watched him closely. "Most humans would not survive long here. You are strong, but also careful. That is rare." Ryan stood and looked around. "I want to see your home. I want to understand how you and your people live." Zora hesitated for a moment. "Few outsiders are allowed near the palace. It is protected. But I sense your mind is honest. You may see it, but you must follow my rules." Ryan nodded. "I promise." Zora waved her hand and the forest before them parted, as if by magic. A path of soft light appeared, leading toward a tall, shimmering structure in the distance. Ryan felt his heart race. The palace was alive, glowing with energy, and the air around it vibrated with power. As they approached, Ryan noticed that the palace walls were not solid. They moved slightly, like they were breathing. The vines along the walls seemed to guide him forward. He had never seen architecture like this, and he could not stop staring. Zora floated ahead and opened a large doorway. The interior was even more breathtaking than the outside. Light flowed along the walls, forming shapes that seemed to tell stories. Plants and creatures moved together, creating a living environment that was both peaceful and full of energy. "You may walk freely," Zora said, "but do not touch anything without permission. Everything here is connected. Harm one part, and it will affect the whole." Ryan nodded. "I understand. I will be careful." They walked together through the halls, and Ryan saw other beings. They were similar to Zora, but smaller. Their skin shimmered in different colors and their eyes glowed softly. They moved gracefully, tending to plants and machines alike. When they saw Ryan, they paused, observing him. Some bowed slightly, acknowledging his presence. "You are learning fast," Zora said. "Do not forget your place, pet, but do not fear. Here, learning is as important as strength." Ryan looked at her. "I will not forget. I want to understand, not to harm. I want to learn from you and your people." Zora's eyes softened. "You are brave, human. That is rare. Most humans would be overwhelmed by our ways or frightened by the energy here. You are different." Ryan smiled, feeling a strange bond forming. "I am here to explore and understand. I do not seek power. I only seek knowledge and friendship." Zora studied him for a long moment. Then she nodded slowly. "You will see more. You will meet the council. They may test you. They may question your intentions. Do not be afraid. Speak honestly, and you will be accepted." Ryan felt a surge of confidence. He had faced challenges before, but nothing like this. He was a human alone in a world of beings far more advanced and powerful than he was. Yet he did not feel fear. He felt excitement. They reached a large chamber where the council of Zora's people gathered. Each member had skin that shimmered with different patterns and colors. Their eyes were bright, intelligent, and curious. Ryan bowed slightly, unsure of the customs, but wanting to show respect. Zora introduced him. "This is Ryan, a human explorer. He comes in peace and seeks to understand our world. Treat him with respect, but test his mind and courage." One of the council members, a being with emerald skin and eyes that glowed like fireflies, stepped forward. "Human, you are far from your home. What do you hope to gain from our world?" Ryan took a deep breath. "I hope to learn. I hope to understand how you live, how your planet works, and how we can share knowledge. I mean no harm. I only seek friendship and understanding," the council whispered among themselves. Some nodded, others observed silently. Finally, the elder with silver markings spoke. "Your words are honest. That is rare. Many who come here seek only what they can take. You seek knowledge and respect. That is the way forward." Ryan felt relief. He had passed the first test. He had shown that humans were not weak or cruel. He had shown that they could be brave, intelligent, and respectful. Zora smiled faintly at him. "You have done well, pet. This is only the beginning. Your presence here will change many things, for you and for us." Ryan looked around the chamber, feeling both small and significant. He realized that he had stepped into a story far greater than any adventure he had imagined. He was not just exploring a new world, he was becoming part of it, learning its secrets and forming bonds that could last a lifetime. As the council continued their discussion, Ryan glanced at Zora. She floated beside him, her eyes bright and curious. He felt a sense of trust growing between them. This bond was rare, fragile, and powerful. It was the first step in a journey that would test courage, intelligence, and the heart. Ryan followed Zora through the palace gates, stepping onto a path that led deeper into the heart of Veralia. The light from the palace faded behind them, and the forest ahead grew denser. Towering trees formed natural arches above their heads, and vines swayed gently even though there was no wind. The air smelled sweet, filled with the scent of flowers and minerals. "This part of the forest is ancient," Zora said. "It has its own intelligence. It tests those who enter. You must be careful." Ryan nodded. He had faced strange worlds before, but something about this forest felt alive in a way that was both beautiful and intimidating. "What kind of tests?" he asked, keeping his voice calm. "The forest senses your intentions and your heart," Zora explained. "It will show you visions, obstacles, and challenges. If your mind is weak or your heart is impure, it will not let you pass. Few humans survive this trial." Ryan felt a thrill of excitement. He had never faced anything like this. "Then, I will do my best," he said confidently. They walked quietly, stepping over roots that seemed to move slightly under their weight. Strange, glowing creatures floated past them, some resembling small birds, others like liquid fire. Each step felt purposeful, as if the forest itself guided them toward something important. Suddenly, the path widened into a clearing and Ryan froze. The space was filled with a soft, golden light that seemed to come from the ground itself. In the center, a large crystal pulsed with energy, sending waves of warmth through the clearing. "This is the heart crystal," Zora explained. "It shows the truth of those who approach. Touch it, and you will face visions from your mind and spirit. Only those who are honest and brave may continue." Ryan felt a chill. He had never experienced anything like this before. He stepped closer, his hand hovering over the crystal. The light seemed to reach out to him, brushing against his skin with warmth. He took a deep breath and placed his hand on it. Immediately, his vision changed. He saw his home planet, Earth, from above. Cities, oceans, forests, and mountains stretched across the surface. Then he saw himself, not as he was, but as he could be. Stronger, wiser, and more understanding. He also saw moments of failure, fear, and doubt. Each image tested his courage, forcing him to face the parts of himself he had tried to hide. Ryan's heart pounded, but he did not pull away. He focused on the truth within him, the reasons he had come to Veralia. He wanted to learn, to understand, and to prove that humans could be more than their mistakes. The crystal glowed brighter, and a voice echoed in his mind. Do you accept yourself as you are and who you can become? Ryan nodded, even though no one could see him. I do. I accept my past and my future. I will learn and grow. The light faded slowly, and Ryan felt a rush of energy flow through him. He looked around and saw Zora smiling softly. You passed the trial, she said. Few humans can face themselves and continue. The forest accepts you. You are stronger than most. Ryan felt a sense of pride, but also humility. He knew he had more to learn and more challenges ahead. Thank you, he said quietly. I will continue to learn and respect your world. Zora nodded. Good. Now we move to the next part of your journey. The forest has more to show you. There are creatures that protect it, and you must prove that you can work with them, not against them. As they continued deeper into the forest, Ryan noticed the changes immediately. The light grew dimmer, and the air became cooler. Shadows moved between the trees, but he did not feel afraid. He trusted Zora and the forest. Suddenly, a low growl echoed through the trees. Ryan stopped, listening carefully. From the shadows emerged a creature unlike any he had seen. It was large, with 4 legs, glowing eyes, and a body covered in smooth metallic scales. Its claws dug into the moss as it approached, and Ryan could feel the energy radiating from it. Zora stepped in front of him. Do not be afraid. This creature is a guardian of the forest. It tests those who enter. Show it respect, not fear, and it will not harm you. Ryan swallowed and nodded. He lowered himself slightly, keeping his hands visible. I mean no harm, he said, his voice calm. I only seek to understand your world. The creature stopped, tilting its head as if studying him. Its eyes glowed brighter, and Ryan felt its mind brushing against his own. He sensed intelligence, curiosity, and caution. Slowly, he reached out a hand, and the creature sniffed it gently. After a long moment, it stepped back and circled him once before sitting down, signaling acceptance. Ryan let out a breath he had not realized he was holding. Zora smiled. You have earned its trust. That is rare. Many cannot pass this test because they show fear or aggression. You have proven yourself worthy of the forest's guidance. Ryan smiled, feeling a deeper connection to this world. He realized that strength alone was not enough. Courage, honesty, and respect mattered more. As they moved forward, the forest seemed to respond to him. Light filtered through the trees in gentle patterns, and the creatures of the forest watched silently, accepting him as part of their world. Zora led him to a small waterfall, where the water glowed with soft colors. This is a sacred place, she explained. It nourishes the forest and connects all living things here. Sit with me. Reflect on what you have learned. Ryan sat beside her, feeling the warmth of the water and the gentle hum of energy around them. He realized that Virelia was more than a planet. It was alive, aware, and protective. Humans like him could learn from it if they were willing to open their minds and hearts. Zora looked at him, her eyes glowing softly. You are ready for the next challenge, pet. The forest has accepted you, but there are greater trials ahead. You will face dangers that test your courage, your mind, and your loyalty. Ryan nodded, feeling determination grow within him. I am ready. I will face whatever comes and learn from it. Zora extended her hand, and Ryan took it. Together they stood and looked deeper into the forest, where shadows and light danced together. He knew that the adventure was only beginning, and that each step would teach him something new. As they walked forward, Ryan felt a sense of purpose and belonging. He was not just a visitor. He was part of something greater. a story of courage, trust, and connection between species. The forest whispered around them, alive with energy and life. And Rian, the human explorer, stepped forward without fear, ready to face whatever Virelia had in store. Ryan and Zora continued walking through the dense forest. The path grew narrower, and the trees twisted into strange shapes. Shadows danced across the ground as the light from above filtered through the thick canopy. The air smelled of minerals and flowers, mixed with a faint electrical hum. Ryan felt the energy of the forest surround him like a living presence. Zora moved with ease, floating slightly above the mossy ground. "This part of the forest is older than the palace itself," she explained. "It holds secrets that only the queen can access. Few outsiders have ever seen them." Ryan felt a thrill. He had faced challenges and trials before, but the idea of exploring a hidden place that even few of Zora's people had seen filled him with excitement. "What secrets?" he asked. "Knowledge," Zora said simply. "The forest remembers everything. It holds the history of our planet, our people, and the energy that connects all life here. You will see it soon, but you must respect it." Ryan nodded. He had learned that respect and patience were important in this world. He followed, quietly as Zora led him deeper into the forest. After a while, they reached a clearing where the trees formed a perfect circle. In the center was a large stone door covered in glowing symbols. The light from the forest reflected off the symbols, making them shimmer like fire. "This is the hidden chamber," Zora said. "It is where the queen communes with the forest and learns its deepest secrets. Few are allowed to enter, and only those who have passed the forest trial may come here." Ryan studied the door. The symbols seemed to move as he looked at them, forming patterns that were almost alive. "How do we open it?" he asked. Zora placed her hand on the center of the door. Her skin glowed softly, and the symbols reacted to her touch. Light flowed from her hand into the door, and the stone began to shift. Slowly, it opened, revealing a chamber filled with soft golden light. Inside, the chamber was circular, with walls that glimmered like liquid crystal. Strange. Plants grew from the floor, walls, and ceiling, forming shapes that seemed to float in midair. Streams of light moved through the chamber like rivers, connecting the plants and crystals in a complex web. "This is the heart of the forest," Zora said. "Here, all knowledge, memory, and energy of this world converge. It is alive, and it speaks to those who are willing to listen." Ryan stepped carefully inside. He felt the energy of the chamber flow around him, brushing against his skin and filling his mind with warmth. The patterns of light seemed to respond to his presence, moving like gentle waves. Zora led him to the center, where a large crystal hovered above a pedestal. Its light was soft but powerful, and Ryan could feel the energy it radiated. He realized this crystal was the source of the forest's memory and strength. "You may touch it," Zora said. "The crystal will show you visions of the past, present, and possible futures. You will understand the connection between our people, the forest, and the planet." Ryan reached out and placed his hand on the crystal. Instantly, images flooded his mind. He saw the planet as it had been centuries ago, before the palace existed. He saw creatures and plants growing in harmony, energy flowing through everything. He saw Zora's people arriving, learning from the forest, and building a civilization that respected its power. The visions changed, showing challenges and conflicts. He saw times when humans or other beings had come to the planet without respect, causing harm. The forest had survived, but it remembered every action. Ryan felt the weight of the history. He understood that this world was delicate, strong, and intelligent. It needed protectors who would respect it, and he realized why Zora called him pet. It was not a word of control, but of trust. "You see the truth. Zora said softly. Few outsiders understand what it means to live in balance with the forest. You have learned quickly, but there is more to see. The crystal showed Ryan a vision of Zora as a young queen, learning from the forest. She had been guided by the energy and wisdom of her people, and she had grown strong, kind, and wise. Ryan felt admiration for her courage and intelligence. Then, the vision shifted. He saw a shadow moving across the planet, a force that did not respect life or balance. He realized that danger was coming, not just for Zora's people, but for all life on the planet. "We must protect the forest," Zora said, her voice firm. "There are beings in the universe who would take what is not theirs. They do not understand respect or balance." "You must be ready, pet." Ryan nodded. "I will help. I will learn and fight if I must. This world deserves protection." Zora smiled faintly, a blush coloring her cheeks. "Your loyalty is rare, human. Few would understand. What I have shown you, you are becoming part of our story." They spent hours in the chamber, learning from the crystal and the living walls. Ryan saw the connection between every plant, creature, and being on the planet. He felt how the energy of the forest flowed through him, strengthening his mind and spirit. As the sunlight outside began to fade, Zora guided him back to the entrance. "The forest will watch you now," she said. "It has accepted you as part of its story. Remember what you have seen, respect it, and it will guide you." Ryan looked back at the chamber, feeling awe and gratitude. He knew that he had entered a world far beyond anything he had imagined. It was alive, intelligent, and beautiful, and he had a role to play in protecting it. Outside, the forest was quiet. The golden light of the sunset filtered through the trees, casting long shadows. Ryan felt a sense of peace and purpose. He was no longer just a visitor. He was part of something greater, a story of courage, trust, and connection. Zora floated beside him, her eyes glowing softly in the fading light. "Tomorrow you will begin your training with the guardians of the palace. You will learn to move, think, and act as one with this world. It will not be easy, but you are ready." Ryan smiled. "I am ready. I will do my best." Zora nodded. "That is all I ask, pet. Remember, strength is important, but so is understanding, patience, and respect. You have shown all three today. Never forget them." As night fell, Ryan felt the forest's energy surround him like a gentle embrace. He had faced trials, seen the past, and understood the importance of balance. He knew the next challenges would be harder, but he also knew he could face them. With Zora by his side, he walked back toward the palace, ready for the adventures, lessons, and dangers that awaited him. The forest had accepted him, the crystal had shown him the truth, and his heart was full of courage. Ryan woke early, the soft light of Virelia's morning filtering through the palace windows. The air was fresh and filled with the scent of flowers from the gardens below. Today, Zora had promised, he would meet the palace guardians and begin his training. He felt excitement and a little nervousness. The forest had tested him, but he knew this next step would challenge his body and mind. Zora appeared beside him, moving gracefully as always. "Today begins your training with the guardians," she said. "They are the protectors of the palace and the forest. You will learn to move like them, think like them, and understand their connection with this world." Ryan nodded. "I am ready," he said. "I will do my best." They walked through the palace gardens, the morning sun casting golden light, over fountains and paths lined with glowing flowers. At the far end of the garden, a group of figures waited. They were tall, strong, and moved with a quiet confidence. Their skin shimmered in the sunlight, and their eyes held a calm intelligence. These were the guardians. One of them stepped forward. "I am Talon," he said, his voice deep and calm. You are the human Zora trusts. Today, we will see if you are ready to move as one with this world. First, you must learn to understand the energy around you. Ryan felt a flutter of excitement. He remembered the forest, the crystal, and the hidden chamber. He knew that energy was part of everything on this planet, and he wanted to connect with it fully. Talon led him to a clearing. The Guardians formed a circle around Ryan, their hands raised slightly. "Close your eyes," Talon instructed. "Feel the energy of the ground, the air, the plants. Let it flow through you, but do not control it. Listen to it." Ryan closed his eyes and took a deep breath. At first, he felt nothing. Then slowly he sensed a gentle hum beneath his feet, a rhythm that pulsed like a heartbeat. He felt the air shift around him, carrying warmth and light. The energy flowed through him, like water, filling him with calm and strength. "Good," Talon said. "Now, move with it. Let it guide your steps, your balance, your focus. You are not fighting the world. You are part of it." Ryan opened his eyes and began to move. He stepped lightly, his feet finding balance even on uneven ground. He bent and twisted, letting the energy guide him. The Guardians watched silently, nodding in approval. "You are learning quickly," Talon said. "Few outsiders move so naturally with the energy of Virelia. But this is only the beginning. You must also learn to sense danger and protect others." Suddenly, the ground trembled slightly. Ryan froze, sensing something in the energy around him. A shadow moved across the clearing, fast and low. One of the Guardians signaled with a hand, and Ryan realized that this was a test. "Defend yourself and the circle," Talon said. Ryan took a deep breath, letting the energy flow through him. He moved quickly, stepping to the side as a creature leapt from the shadows. It was small but fast, with sharp claws and glowing eyes. He could sense its movements before it acted, and he dodged with ease. The energy guided him, balancing his body and mind. The Guardians moved around him, helping him understand timing, distance, and awareness. Each strike, each dodge, and each step felt connected to the world around him. He realized that strength alone was not enough. Awareness, patience, and understanding were more important. After several rounds, the creatures retreated and the Guardians lowered their hands. Talon nodded at Ryan. "You have done well. You are learning to protect and to move as one with this world. But there is still more to learn. A Guardian's mind must be as sharp as their body." They moved to another area of the garden where the light shifted through the trees in complex patterns. "This is the test of perception," Talon explained. "You will navigate the patterns, avoid obstacles, and reach the center. But the challenge is not just physical. You must sense the energy, anticipate what will happen, and act before it arrives." Ryan focused, letting the energy of the forest guide him. Light and shadow danced around him, creating a maze of shapes and movement. He ran, jumped, and twisted, feeling the flow of energy in every step. Sometimes he stumbled, but he quickly regained balance, learning from each mistake. The Guardians watched silently, impressed by his speed and focus. "You are learning faster than most," Talon said. "Your heart is open, and your mind is sharp. But do not let pride guide you. Humility is the greatest strength a Guardian can have." By the end of the morning, Ryan felt exhausted but exhilarated. His body was sore, but his mind felt clearer than ever. He understood more deeply how the Guardians connected with the forest, the palace, and the energy that surrounded everything. Zora appeared, her expression proud. "You have done well today, pet," she said. "The Guardians will continue your training, but you have proven that humans can learn and grow. Few outsiders have ever done what you have done." Ryan smiled, feeling warmth from her words. "I am honored to learn from them and from you," he said. As the sun began to set, The Guardians gathered in a circle, and Ryan joined them. Talon spoke. Remember, a Guardian protects not just with strength, but with wisdom, respect, and courage. You are part of this world now. Each step you take affects everything around you. Always move with awareness and care. Ryan nodded, understanding the weight of his responsibility. He had passed the forest trial, learned from the crystal, and now begun training as a protector. Each day he felt stronger, wiser, and more connected to Virelia. As night fell, the palace gardens glowed softly under the light of the moons. Ryan stood beside Zora, feeling the energy of the forest and the guardians around him. He knew that the training would be difficult, but he also knew he was ready for it. Zora looked at him, her eyes glowing softly. Tomorrow, you will face a challenge unlike any before. The energy you have learned to sense will guide you, but you must trust your instincts, your heart, and your courage. Are you ready? Ryan took a deep breath, feeling determination grow within him. I am ready. I will face whatever comes and protect this world. Zora smiled, a faint blush coloring her cheeks. Then rest well, pet. Tomorrow begins the true test of a guardian. Ryan looked up at the stars, feeling the strength of Virelia flow through him. He knew the journey ahead would be difficult, but he also knew he would not face it alone. With Zora, the guardians, and the forest by his side, he felt ready to face anything. The night was calm, the palace peaceful, and the energy of the world hummed softly around him. Ryan closed his eyes, ready to learn, ready to protect, and ready to prove that humans could be more than they had ever imagined. The morning on Virelia began with a soft mist covering the palace gardens. Ryan woke, feeling the energy of the forest flowing through him, stronger than ever. Today was the day of his first real challenge outside the training grounds. The Guardians had told him that he would face an external threat, one that would test everything he had learned. Zora appeared at the palace balcony, her eyes glowing with quiet pride. Are you ready, pet? She asked. Ryan nodded, feeling determination rise in his chest. I am ready. I will protect this world. She nodded and led him to a high platform overlooking the outer fields of the palace. From there, Ryan could see the forests stretching for miles, and beyond them, the distant mountains that marked the borders of their world. The Guardians were already gathered, moving in formation. Their calm focus reassured him. Talon approached Ryan. The threat will come from the eastern pass, he said. It is not large, but it is fast and unpredictable. Your task is to defend the palace and the forest energy. Remember your training, trust your instincts, and act with respect and awareness. Ryan felt a surge of energy. He had learned to move, sense, and act with the flow of the world. Now it was time to put it all into practice. Suddenly, a strange hum echoed through the air. Ryan looked toward the eastern pass and saw movement in the distance. Shadowy shapes were approaching quickly, moving with unnatural speed. He sensed their energy immediately. It was harsh, chaotic, and disrespectful of the natural flow of life on Virelia. Stay calm, Talon instructed. Focus on the energy, not on fear. Ryan closed his eyes for a brief moment, letting the energy of the forest guide him. He felt the rhythm of the ground, the air, and the trees. He understood the patterns of the incoming threat before it arrived. The first creatures leapt into the clearing. They were small but numerous, with dark, jagged bodies and glowing eyes. They moved like a swarm, fast and aggressive, aiming to disrupt the balance of the forest and the palace. Ryan reacted instinctively. He moved with the energy of the forest, dodging their attacks and guiding their momentum away from the palace. The Guardians surrounded him, creating a protective barrier. Ryan realized that his training had prepared him for this moment. Awareness, speed, and harmony with the energy were his greatest weapons. He focused on the largest creature, sensing its patterns and predicting its movements. With a swift, precise motion, he redirected it away from the palace walls, letting it stumble harmlessly into the forest clearing. The energy of the trees and plants flowed around him, helping him guide the creatures without causing harm. Zora watched closely, her expression a mix of concentration and pride. "He is learning faster than I imagined," she whispered to one of the guardians. The creatures continued their attack, but Ryan and the guardians worked together seamlessly. Each movement was guided by energy, each action balanced and precise. Ryan felt a deep connection to the forest, the guardians, and Zora. He understood that he was not alone. Their strength and trust flowed through him. After a tense few minutes, the swarm hesitated. Ryan sensed their confusion and fear, caused by the harmony of the defenders. He moved forward, guiding the creatures back toward the eastern pass, using only the energy of the world around him. Slowly, the threat retreated, and the clearing was safe once again. The guardians lowered their hands, and Talon approached Ryan. "You did well," he said, his voice calm but firm. "You acted with intelligence, awareness, and respect. You did not seek to destroy, only to protect. That is the true strength of a guardian." Ryan felt a rush of relief and pride. He had faced his first real threat and survived, using his skills and the energy of Virelia. He realized how much he had grown since arriving on this world. Zora floated beside him, her eyes glowing softly. "You have proven yourself, pet," she said. "Your heart, mind, and body are aligned with the forest. You are no longer just a visitor. You are part of this world and its story." Ryan smiled, feeling warmth from her words. "I could not have done it without your guidance and the Guardian's support," he said. Zora's blush deepened slightly. "And yet you did. You are becoming stronger every day. Remember, this world is full of challenges, but also full of beauty, knowledge, and energy. Protect it, respect it, and it will guide you." As the sun climbed higher, Ryan and the Guardians walked through the cleared fields, checking for any remaining traces of the threat. The forest hummed around them, as if approving of their efforts. Ryan felt a strong sense of belonging and purpose. He had faced danger, acted wisely, and preserved the harmony of the world. Later, in the palace gardens, Zora led Ryan to a quiet corner filled with glowing plants. "Every challenge is an opportunity to learn," she said. "You faced your first test and succeeded. But remember, pet, the universe is vast, and there will be greater challenges ahead. Always remain connected to the energy, stay aware, and trust yourself." Ryan nodded, understanding the weight of her words. "I will, Zora. I promise to continue learning and protecting this world." She smiled softly, a gentle blush coloring her cheeks again. "I know you will. Your courage and loyalty are rare. Few outsiders would achieve what you have. You are becoming more than human. You are a guardian of this world." As night fell, the palace glowed under the light of Virelia's moons. Ryan sat beside Zora, feeling the calm energy of the forest flow around him. He reflected on the day's events, the training, the first external threat, and the lessons he had learned. He realized that strength alone was not enough. Wisdom, awareness, respect, and harmony with the world were equally important. The challenge had tested him physically and mentally, but it had also strengthened his spirit. Zora placed her hand gently on his shoulder. "Rest now, pet. Tomorrow will bring new lessons, new experiences, and perhaps new challenges. But you are ready. You have proven yourself as a protector, and the forest will guide you further." Ryan closed his eyes, feeling the warmth of her presence and the energy of the world surrounding him. He was no longer just a human visitor. He was part of Virelia, part of its story, and part of its defense. The night was calm, the stars shining, brightly above. Ryan knew that the journey ahead would be filled with trials, but he also knew he was prepared. With Zora, the Guardians, and the forest by his side, he felt ready to face anything that threatened this world. The morning sun rose over Viralia, casting golden light across the palace and the surrounding forests. Ryan stood at the edge of the highest balcony, feeling the energy of the world around him. Today was the ultimate trial, the moment that would decide if he was truly ready to become a guardian of this world. Zora appeared beside him, her eyes soft but serious. "Pet, today you will face a challenge that tests all you have learned," she said. "It is not only about strength or speed, but about understanding, awareness, and courage. The energy of Viralia will guide you, but you must also trust yourself." Ryan nodded, feeling a mixture of excitement and determination. He had trained with the Guardians, faced external threats, and learned to move with the energy of the forest. Now it was time to prove that he belonged here. Talon and the other Guardians waited in the courtyard below. "The trial begins in the Eastern Forest," Talon called. "You must reach the heart of the forest and protect the ancient crystal there. Its energy sustains this world, and it must not be disturbed." Ryan took a deep breath and followed the Guardians to the forest path. The air was thick with energy, the light filtering through the trees in soft patterns. Every leaf, every branch, every stone seemed alive with power. Ryan felt the pulse of the world beneath his feet and allowed it to guide him. As they moved deeper into the forest, the energy around him grew stronger and more complex. He sensed hidden currents, flowing like invisible streams of light. He realized that the trial would not only test his physical abilities, but also his understanding of the forest's energy. Suddenly, a loud roar echoed through the trees. Shadows moved among the branches, and strange creatures emerged. They were larger and more powerful than anything he had faced before, with glowing eyes and jagged forms. They charged toward him, testing his courage and focus. Ryan felt fear for a moment, but he quickly let the energy flow through him. He moved with the Guardians, dodging attacks and guiding the creatures away from the path. Every step was precise, every movement connected to the world around him. He realized that he could predict the creatures' actions by sensing their energy. "Remember?" "Your training!" Talon shouted. "Protect the forest, protect the crystal, and move with awareness." Ryan focused, letting the rhythm of the forest guide his body. He directed the creatures toward harmless obstacles, using their own energy against them without causing injury. The Guardians moved in perfect harmony with him, creating a web of protection around the forest and the crystal. As they reached the heart of the forest, Ryan saw the ancient crystal, glowing with pure light. Its energy was magnificent, and he felt its pulse through his body. Suddenly, the creatures intensified their attack, surrounding the crystal and threatening to disrupt its energy. Ryan took a deep breath and closed his eyes. He let the energy of the forest flow through him completely, connecting his mind, body, and spirit with the crystal. He felt the rhythm of the world and the intentions of the creatures. With calm and focus, he moved with precision, guiding the energy of the forest to protect the crystal. The creatures tried to push through, but Ryan anticipated every movement. He blocked, redirected, and guided them away, using only energy and motion. He felt a sense of harmony with the Guardians and the forest, as if they were all one being working together. Zora watched from a distance, her eyes glowing softly. "He has become part of this world," she whispered. "He moves with the energy and understands it. This is what I hoped he could become." After what felt like hours, the creatures finally retreated, sensing the strength and unity of the defenders. The forest grew calm again, and the crystal's light shone brighter than ever. Ryan opened his eyes, feeling a deep sense of accomplishment and connection. Talon approached him, placing a hand on his shoulder. "You have succeeded, Ryan," he said. "You have proven your courage, your awareness, and your understanding. You are now a true guardian of Virelia. Humans are rare among the defenders, but you have shown that strength and wisdom can grow beyond origin. You belong here. Rian felt a warmth in his chest. He had faced fear, danger, and the unknown, and he had protected this world. He had learned to trust himself, to move with the energy, and to act with respect and courage. He was no longer just a visitor. He was a part of Virelia. Zora floated beside him, her eyes shining. Pet, you have done more than I imagined. You have protected the forest, the crystal, and the guardians. You have become one with this world. I am proud of you. Ryan smiled, feeling the deep connection between them. I could not have done it without your guidance, Zora, he said. You believed in me, taught me, and showed me how to connect with this world. I am grateful. She blushed softly, a faint glow on her cheeks. And yet you did it yourself. The energy, the courage, and the awareness came from within you. Remember this, pet. You are capable of more than you know. Always trust yourself, and you will continue to grow. As the sun began to set, Rian and the Guardians returned to the palace. The forest hummed with life, its energy flowing smoothly and harmoniously. Ryan felt proud and at peace, knowing he had protected it. That evening, in the palace gardens, Zora led Rian to a quiet spot under glowing trees. You have completed the ultimate trial, she said. The forest and the crystal recognize your strength and your heart. You are now a guardian pet, and your journey here has just begun. There are more lessons, more experiences, and more challenges ahead. But you have proven that humans can rise and protect this world. Ryan looked around, at the glowing gardens, the flowing energy of the forest, and the calm presence of Zora. He felt a deep sense of belonging. He had faced danger, learned to move with the energy, and protected the world he had grown to love. I will continue to learn and protect, Ryan said. I will honor this world, its guardians, and its energy. I promise to always do my best. Zora smiled, her eyes shining. I know you will, pet. You have become part of this world, and this world is part of you. Remember this connection, always. As the stars appeared in the night sky, Ryan felt the energy of Virelia flow through him. He knew the journey ahead would have challenges, but he also knew he was ready. He was a guardian now, strong, aware, and part of something greater than himself. The palace glowed under the moons, the forest hummed in harmony, and Ryan stood beside Zora, feeling proud, calm, and ready for whatever came next. The ultimate trial had passed, and he had emerged stronger, wiser, and fully connected to Virelia. The journey had changed him, and he was ready to protect this world and its energy, proving that humans could rise, grow, and become guardians of something far greater than themselves. Rian smiled, feeling the flow of energy and the presence of Zora by his side. The adventure was only beginning, but he knew he had proven his courage, his heart, and his place in this world. The night was calm, peaceful, and full of promise. Ryan had become a guardian of Virelia, and the world was safe in his hands.